Hello, everyone. Good afternoon to our featured OST scholars. So I hope everybody is doing fine, especially with your preparations for the upcoming DOST scholarship exam. So okay pa ba ang lahat? So hopefully, no? Okay, so actually, you are watching me in a recorded video because I would like sana to be here with you live, but my prior commitment kasi ako sa work, and actually I am in Dinagat Islands, and our province is conducting um a caravan, no? A province-wide caravan in celebration of the Women's Month. So we are giving free services to our municipalities. So, unfortunately, nasagasaan yung weekends ko. So that's why I can be with you live no today. But hopefully, no, we can make this session interactive kahit recorded siya. So if I will have some questions along the way, just feel free not to use the chat box and or like comment. And so yun today we will be talking about how to build or how to develop effective study habits. What are the study techniques no that are backed up by research that might help you, and I will also be sharing how to make your study schedule or your study plan, for you to like fully prepare for the DOST exam. So actually, no, this is a great initiative from the NMADS. So thank you, no, to the Northern Mindanao Association of DOST Scholars for this initiative. So uh, I was once like you, no, an aspirant DOST um, applicant, no, na who's hoping na successfully get that scholarship, and this session, no, will really help you with that preparation. So again, thank you so much to NMADS for having this initiative to help our aspirant scholars. Okay, so let's start no by this introduction. So hello everyone, I am Ludian CM Fimo. So you can call me Miss Luday. Currently, I am the Provincial Mental Health Program Coordinator of Dinagat Islands. So I am an alumna of Mindanao State University Iligan Institute of Technology, and I graduated with a degree in Bachelor of Science in Psychology last year. Right. And then I also got my license last year. So I am now a registered psychometrician, and I also have this following certifications. So I am certified human resource associate, a certified mental health trainer, and certified people skills trainer. And of course, I'm also a DOST JLSS scholar. So I really could feel, no, I was once in your shoes, no, our future scholars. So I could still remember those days na like hulba gyud alam mo naghapit na ang exam, no. So I really can understand what you are feeling right now, the pressure, the like fear and all. But um chill lang, no, chill, just try to chill, just try to learn and review as much as you can, so and don't be too hard on yourself, and hopefully you listen as well to what we will be talking today, because it might help you, because what I will be sharing, the study habits, the techniques, and the schedules, I have used it personally. So, na-test ko siya with all the exams that I've uh, gone through, like especially with my board exam. So hopefully, it could help you as well, and hopefully you will lend your ears, for a moment. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so this will be the following contents of this session. So first, we'll be talking about how to develop effective study habits. No, and we will also be identifying what are the common study mistakes that maybe inyuhang ginabuhat, no? And we'll also be discussing ways how to avoid it. And then I will also be talking about research-backed study techniques. So these study techniques, again, I will be sharing are the ones that I have personally used as well, no, was very, which were very effective to me. So iba-iba naman tayo na ano no, what might work for me might not work for you, but there's no harm in trying these techniques, no. And then lastly, we'll be talking about how to create a structured study schedule and how do you set realistic study goals. Because dapat talaga may goal tayo, right? So, what is your goal? No, bakit kayo nandito for this session? Can you write it in the comment or in the chat box? So, I am assuming that you are here because you want to pass the DOST exam, right? So, yun, just try to focus, and also gusto kong ulit-ulitin, don't be too hard on yourself then, because it's it's impossible for you to cover almost everything, no, but having this like effective and healthy study habits, having this structured study plan, and then having the study techniques as well, it will really help you. Okay, so medyo maulan po dito sa amin ngayon. So hopefully, I'm still audible. Okay, so yun po, ito po yung ating main contents for this session. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Okay, so before we talk about how can we develop study habits, let's first talk about how do we learn the I, no? How do we like get the information, so how do we process those informations and make sure na it stays on our mind, like ma-recall nato siya. So I know akabalo na mo ani, you're already senior high school students, so this is this isn't actually a big issue, no, but sometimes manggod the natural processes that we do, example learning, it's a natural like way, natural process sa ato as humans, no, nga maka-learn gid ta. But sometimes we overlook on the factors on how we learn, no. For example, there are factors mo got to consider to get that maximum or that optimal learning, no, and that's why we'll be talking about it today as well. So how do we learn? First, of course, no, we learn if there's this engagement. So, let me ask you, you can see this pop right here, right? So, are you engaged, no? Like this pop? Are you engaged at, how do I say this? So, are you engaged like uh, as much as this pop right here? So, are you listening to this session right now? Are you engaged with me? So hopefully yes, no, because when you are fully engaged with something, you put your like undivided attention to it. And so when you have this undivided attention, you can really absorb, no, the informations na na-share sa inyo, right? And so you will be learning a lot more, no? Kasi it's different talaga, right? If you are not giving your full attention to something, no? And so hopefully, all of you are fully engaged with our discussion right now. So, wag nating sayangin, no, yung oras. So, you are here today to learn. So, let's be fully engaged. Okay. So, however, no, it does not stop there. After engaging, we need repetition. So, you know Dory, right? No. Dory pangalan niya, di ba? Sa Finding Nemo. Okay, so Dory, she keeps on forgetting, no? Di ba? Makalimot din si Dory. So, the key, no, para hindi makalimot is to do repetition. So, repeat, repeat, repeat. Right? So, after engaging, you do repetition. Kasi, hindi talaga possible na makuha mo agad yung mga contents ng, for example, ng nare-review mo. Okay? So, you have to do repetition for you to learn. That's why, di ba, our mothers, yung mga mothers natin, when they want, no, their baby to when they want na yung baby nila, yung first word ay mama, they repeat these words, right? They say mama, mama, right? So repetition is really important. So engagement and repetition, this goes hand in hand. Now, to learn, it's also important that we have this growth mindset. Okay, lumakas yung ulan, so hopefully naririnig pa rin ako. So I'll just stay close with the mic. Okay, so yun sinasabi natin na for us to learn, we also have we also need to have this growth mindset. So we have this term growth mindset and fixed mindset. So ano bang pinagkaiba ng dalawa? No, let's start with fixed mindset. Yung fixed mindset, think of it like yung lock, nakapadlock na lock. Yes, yung naka-lock siya. So, very fixed, right? So, parang a person with this mindset, ito yung mga sinasabi niya sa sarili niya. So, failure is the limit of my abilities. I'm either good at it or I'm not, no? And then, meron pa dito, when I'm frustrated, I give up. And then, my potential is predetermined. So, makikita natin a person with fixed mindset, parang kinukulong niya yung sarili niya sa kung ano lang yung belief niya kaya niya, no? Hindi niya pinupush yung sarili niya to learn other things, no? Takot siya na takot siya na makita yung sarili niya na mag-fail. 'Di ba? Kasi dito, failure is the limit of my abilities, no? Kung hindi ko yan kaya, edi hindi ko talaga kaya. So, hindi ko nagagawin yun. So, yun yung mindset ng person with fixed mindset. On the other hand, yung person with growth mindset, ito yung sinasabi niya sa sarili niya. Failure is an opportunity to grow. Challenges help me to grow. I can learn to do anything I want. I like to try new things. So, ito yung example ng mga statements na sinasabi niya. So, we can see, no, na na person with growth mindset, hindi siya takot magkamali. No? And then, a person with growth mindset, tinitake niya as lesson yung mga mistakes niya. At saka kung ano man yung mga nagtatry. A person with a growth mindset, nagtatry siya na aralin pa yung mga bagay na hindi niya alam. Right? So, for this person, parang there's always a room for improvement, kumbaga, para sa kanya. Kaya nag-e-effort siya to learn those things na hindi pa niya alam. Okay. So, kayo, saan ba kayo dito? Do you have this growth mindset or fixed mindset? Hopefully, no, you have this growth mindset. Kasi, very important talaga yung mindset natin when it comes to learning. Kasi unang-una pa lang, kung para sa'yo ay hindi mo na kayang ma-learn yung physics, yung chemistry, no? Kahit how hard you review pa, no? Pag na-fix na yan, yung mindset mo, sinasabi mo na sa sarili mo na hindi ko kaya, maaaring hindi mo talaga makakaya. Kasi our mind is very powerful. Alright? So, say it to yourself, kaya ko. Kaya ko mag-learn, kaya ko ma-master yung chemistry, yung physics, no? Kahit hindi fully mastered, at least man lang, may malaman ka, no? That's what is important, no? Hindi naman din natin sinasabi na kailangan perfect ka, right? Just try to teach yourself and try to grasp, no, kahit konting mga concepts lang for each subject, especially, no, sa inyong DOST exam, because 'di ba napakaraming mga subjects, so just try to, no, kung anong makakaya niyong i-review, at saka wag niyong ilimit yung sarili niyo. Yun yung pinaka-importante. Okay. And then we also learn by being consistent. So, consistency over intensity. No? Nakikita niyo si SpongeBob, parang, yes, consistency dapat. So, ano ba ang sinasabi natin dito? Meron kasi mga tao na magaling mag-cram, no? I know some people talaga, my classmates way back in college, ang galing nila mag-cram. Tsaka na-amaze ako. Kasi actually ako, nape-pressured ako kapag nagka-cram. Pero minsan din, hindi ko naiiwasan, no? Nagka-cram din ako dahil sa napakarami na task. But what I've learned talaga is like, being consistent is the key. Like kahit maliit lang yung nare-review mo, basta ahead of time, no? Day by day ahead of time, mas okay yon kaysa sa nagka-cram ka, no? High intensity ka agad. Kasi I'm not against people na nagka-cram, ha, kasi may tao talaga na mas nagwo-work sila pag under pressure. But yung ano kasi doon, yung problem din doon, no, or danger is that baka wala ka ng time, no, to cram. Like for example, magsa-study ka the night before the exam, baka baka may emergency o ano pa ba, no, na reason kaya hindi ka makakapag review sana, no? So it's better talaga that you review ahead of time. So kahit maliit lang yung pages na binabasa mo, like 5 to 10 pages a day, okay lang yun. At least basta be consistent, no? At least may binabasa ka. Kasi yun din, no, kapag binigla natin yung brain natin, possible talaga na hindi natin ma-absorb lahat ng inaral natin. So, be consistent. No, I hope lagi kayong nagbabasa, no, ng mga libro or yung contents ng DOST exam. So, kahit maliit lang yung binabasa nyo, okay lang yun. Basta consistent. Okay. Now, let's move on. Now, so ano ba yung mga common study mistakes, no, na maaring uh, nagagawa niyo unconsciously or something hindi naman unconscious pero alam niyo mali pero ginagawa niyo pa rin. So let's try to talk about it, the common study mistakes that you should avoid. Okay, so first, of course, sinabi na natin kanina, cramming, no? Yung pagka-cram, ito yung, for example, dito sa figure na to, yung nakikita nyo, saan ba kayo na-belong? Are you studying a week before the exam? Okay yun? Or are you cramming the night before the exam? Talaga ba? Kaya ba? Or are you studying the morning of the exam? Wow. No, wag naman sana. Or are you learning the material as you take the exam? Guys, wag ganito ha. Yung DOST exam niyo, wag niyo pong sayangin. Okay, so, um, gawin niyo to yung nasa taas, studying a week before the exam, no? Or, kahit nga wag week, no? Dapat months before pa, nag-prepare na kayo for your DOST exam. Kasi again, no, yung exam na to, ang daming coverage. Right? Napaka-wide niya. So, I hope, no, hindi kayo nagka-cram sa mga pagre-review nyo ngayon. No? So, cramming talaga is not good, no, because it leads to short-term or short memory retention. No? Bakit ganon? Short-term lang kasi possible na dahil you didn't have time, no, to do the repetition. No? You're just like trying to finish reading everything, right? Which also leads us to the second one, the passive reading. No? Passive reading is you're just like trying to finish the book kahit na hindi mo naman naiintindihan, no? Yung goal mo is para lang dapat ma-finish ko yung 50 pages. But the real question is, naiintindihan mo ba yung binabasa mo? Do you remember ano ba yung binasa mo? No, kasi kung hindi, probably nagpa-passive reading ka lang. You're not doing the active reading. Wherein dito sa active reading, talagang ina-understand mo yung bawat sentences, bawat context. 'Di ba? Ina-analyze mo, you're dissecting what you are reading. Okay. So, wag mag-passive reading ha. Okay. Kasi superficial understanding lang 'yan. So, ano pa ba yung mga common study mistakes to avoid? We also have multitasking. Eto, minsan talaga hindi naiiwasan na mag-multitask. Especially, no, kapag ang dami mong roles or responsibilities. No, hindi naman siya naiiwasan. Pero tingnan nyo yung cat dito. Ano bang nakikita nyo sa face niya? Is the cat happy? No, parang hindi naman. Parang confused siya. So, ano bang uunahin niya? Left, right? Hindi niya alam kung anong uunahin niya. So, tayo din, no? Kung nag-multitask tayo, possible din na mako-confuse tayo. Right? And it reduces yung focus mo. Nade-divide kasi yung attention mo eh, 'di ba? You are distracted, no? So for example, today you are listening to me baka baka may ginagawa din kayong ibang task, no? Like ano ba? Naghuhugas ba kayo ng pinggan at this moment? Or like are you doing your assignments? Okay lang naman, no? But mas better talaga if we work on a task one at a time. Okay? So, yung ginagawa ko to avoid multitasking is that I list all my tasks, no? And then, rinarank ko siya. For example, nirank ko siya by urgency, no? So, ano bang pinaka-urgent sa mga task ko na ito? So, yun. And then, sometimes, I also rank my task. Kung ano yung, the level of difficulty, no? So, kung ano yung pinaka-easy, yun yung uunahin ko. Kasi, ako kasi, na-overwhelm ako pag napakarami kong task. So, ang ginagawa ko, nililist ko lahat. And then, I try to rank them, yun nga, the level of difficulty. So, napaka-satisfying kasi for me, na yung mag-crash out ba, no? So, inuuna ko talaga yung easy, para din hindi masyadong mabigat tingnan, no? Or hindi mabigat sa feeling, no? Yung pag-complete ko ng mga task. So, that's how I avoid, no, multitasking. Okay. And then this one, no breaks. So, what can you see in your screen? Diba? My car and then my boy na tumatawid sa daan. So, the car is about to hit the boy, or right? So, what do you think will happen if walang brake yung car? Or hindi magbe-brake or hindi magsa-stop yung boy? Of course, right? Mababangga ng car yung boy. Teka lang, may dadaan ng motor. Yun. So, of course, diba, may hit ng car yung boy. So, something bad will happen. Right? So, just like sa pag-study natin, importante, very, very important po ng break time. Okay? Kasi bakit? Our brain needs time para makapag-absorb ng information. So, kung from like dawn hanggang midnight, talagang nagre-review ka lang. Walang break. Unhealthy na yon, ha? Kasi, big chance nun, hindi mo naman nare-retain yung information or hindi mo na-absorb ang lahat. Kasi, impossible talaga for us, no, humans, like to get everything, no? Like, ma-absorb lahat-lahat ng information. Maliban kung may photographic memory ka siguro, or you're a genius. But naturally, hirap talaga tayong i-absorb lahat yung massive information. 'Di ba? So, you should take time, no? To break. To pause. To breathe. Okay, ako, ginagawa ko, sa aking break time, teka, hopefully, naririnig pa rin nyo ako, no? May, nagko-construct dito sa amin. But, yun, for me, what I do sa aking break time is that I look at the trees, mga green things sa aking paligid. I look at the skies, like the bright lights and all. Ganun ako. Tsaka, ako ng hangin. Nagpapahangin ako. And then, another, minsan din, hindi minsan, actually kadalasan, nagpapatugtog ako. Tapos, sinasabayan ko. Medyo singerist kasi tayo ng konti. So, yun, siguro I finish 5 songs before I go back. And, I'm also doing the Pomodoro technique, which I will be sharing with you later sa study techniques. So, doon kasi may breaks din doon. So, yun yung ginagawa ko. Nagpapahangin, tumitingin sa mga trees, nagbumuni ba, kumbaga. So, and then, nag-listen ng music. At saka ito pala, kumakain ako during my breaks, no? So, sometimes, yung time, my break time then would be the time na bibili ako na makakain. No? Or sometimes, meron na pagkain, kumakain na lang ako. No? Yun. So, that's what I do during my break time. So, very, very important po talaga ng break. So, wag niyong kaligtaan yan. But of course, no, you also have to limit your breaks. Too much of everything is dangerous. Right? Kasi baka naman, yung break nyo, yung break nyo is pagsa-cellphone. Break ko din yun pala. Oo. Nag-bebe time, ganun. But, baka kasi, yung pagsa-cellphone nyo, from 5 minutes, naging 30 minutes to 1 hour to ilang oras na. So, nakalimutan nyo ng mag-review. So, wag naman sobra-sobra. Okay? So, later, doon sa Pomodoro technique, matuturuan kayo kung paano yung like right way to take breaks. Which, of course, is depende kung mahihiyang din kayo sa technique na yun. But I will be sharing it because for me, it works. Okay, so napakarami pang study mistakes, no? Common study mistakes. So, hopefully, you are fully aware na baka may mga actions kayo or may mga study mistakes kayong ginagawa. So, hopefully, you will be able to identify those and then try to avoid it as much as you can. Okay. Okay, now, we are here sa research-backed study techniques. Okay. So, itong research-backed study techniques that I will be sharing, like what I've said, are the techniques I have done, no? Because I won't be sharing to you mga hindi ko naman napagdaanan. Kasi baka, hindi talaga ako nag-share ng ganun. So, I'll just be sharing to you what techniques are helpful to me. At baka helpful din siya sa inyo. Again, no, disclaimer, these techniques may not work for you because iba-iba talaga yun ng hiyangan sa mga study techniques natin. Diba? But, there's no harm in trying. So, just try to listen at baka magustuhan nyo. Okay. So, first, we have here yung sinabi ko kanina, the Pomodoro technique. So, as you can see, may tomato dito sa right side. Because actually, Pomodoro is an Italian word for tomato. And you'll know why. So, Pomodoro technique, as you can see here, is developed by Francisco Cirillo in the 1980s. So, it was named Pomodoro because itong si Cirillo, yung ginamit niya kasi na timer is tomato shape na kitchen timer. Kaya tinawag siya na Pomodoro, no? So, ano bang ginagawa sa Pomodoro technique? So, basically, yung Pomodoro technique ay may mga short focused intervals. So, ito yung tinatawag na Pomodoro. Nakikita niyo yung figure, may mga tomato. So, may mga short focused na intervals and then may regular breaks. At ang goal nito is to enhance your focus and productivity while preventing burnout. Okay. So, paano ba ginagawa 'yon? Teka, parang natabunan ko yung figure. Pero sige, I'll discuss it. So, as you can see here sa figure, the right side, no? May timer, the Pomodoro, the tomato shaped timer. And then you can see here sa number 1, there's a task, right? And sinet niya na yung task gagawin niya in 25 minutes. So within the 25 minutes, wala talaga siyang ibang gagawin kundi yung task na yun. So undivided attention. Like really focused siya na matapos yung time na yun. At after the 25 minutes, magkakaroon siya ng break na 5 minutes. So, kahit anong gawin mo. Yung sinabi ko kanina, yung na-share ko na breaks, ginagawa ko pag break time, or kung anong ginagawa nyo, yun, gawin nyo for 5 minutes. I-consume nyo talaga yun. And then after the 5-minute break, 25 minutes again, no, na focused doing another task. Pwedeng continuation siya sa previous task mo, or like if tapos ka na, you proceed to other task. No? So another 25 minutes na focused ka sa task na yun. Then after 5 minutes ulit, cycle siya. And until sa fourth Pomodoro mo, sa fourth task mo, after nun, instead of 5-minute break, long break na siya. So, 15 to 30-minute break. Okay. So, itong mga time na to, ako naman, hindi ko siya as in like, nasunod talaga, no? Kasi minsan, yung 25 minutes sa akin, there are times na napuputol yung mga ideas. Kaya minsan, umaabot din ako ng 30 minutes, no? But, ang important kasi nito, no, is that you take breaks. So, focused reviewing, breaks, then focused reviewing again, breaks, focus reviewing again, breaks, focus reviewing again, and then after that, long break. So, ganun yung idea ng Pomodoro technique. So, this, maybe this is familiar na to some, no? Kasi actually may app na nga nito sa Play Store. Yeah. Pomodoro apps. But ako, ginagawa ko, ano lang naman, yung sa timer sa phone, yun lang yung i-use ko. Okay. So, ano pa ang other techniques? You also have this, the Feynman technique. Okay. So, ano ba yung Feynman technique? So, ito, maaring nagawa nyo na to, no? Pero hindi nyo lang alam na Feynman pala ang tawag dito. So, actually, itong Feynman technique, it was developed by Richard Feynman, a physicist. At ito, basically, ang ginagawa dito sa Feynman technique ay parang tinuturo mo kung ano yung natutunan mo. And the way, you either teach it to someone or yourself. And then the way you explain it, parang para kang kumakausap sa isang bata or to a child, no? Sinisimplify mo yung mga concept na yon. Okay, so these are the steps here in the right side, 'di ba? Choose a concept to learn. So ano ba yung i-review mo, for example, today? So physics ba? Ganon, or chemistry ba? And then you teach it to yourself or someone else. Teaching it to yourself, pwede ka mag-face in the mirror or kung anong gusto mo, no? Wag kayong mag-alala. Hindi kayo sasabihan na may something is wrong with you, no? Because you have a goal naman. And that is to try to explain it in simplest term, no? So, try to talk to yourself. And then, or kaya you find someone else na tuturuan nyo, kumbaga. No? So, mother nyo ba? Or study buddy nyo ba? Or girlfriends, boyfriends nyo ba? Are you allowed to have partners na ba at your age? Okay. So, just try to teach it to yourself or someone else. No? And then, of course, there are times or there would be time na nakalimutan mo yung other ideas ng concept na yon, no? Or may na-miss ka, no? Na detail. And gawin mo lang, basahin mo lang ulit yung material. And then again, try to explain it. Try to simplify it. Try to say it with your own words, no? Kasi ang idea kasi, or ang ano ng Feynman is that, 'di ba? Hindi enough na alam mo yung textbook definition. Hindi enough na memorize mo 'yon. 'Di ba? Mas maganda talaga or alam mo na naiintindihan mo yung concept na 'yon if nai-explain mo siya in your own words. So gamitin mo yung mga layman's terms, or gamitin mo yung mga first language mo. Magbisaya ka kung magbisaya, no? Bisaya og maayo. And you try to evaluate yourself if naiintindihan mo ba talaga yung sinasabi mo. Kasi kung hindi mo siya na-verbalize, ibig sabihin, baka hindi mo naman naiintindihan. Right? So that's how the Feynman technique works. Again, you try to learn a concept and then you teach it to other people or to yourself and then explain it like you are explaining to a child. Okay, so yun yung Feynman technique. Okay, so ano pa? What other techniques do we have? Here, we have the mind palace or method of loci. Okay, so this mind palace, it is a mnemonic technique used to improve memory retention and recall para mas maalala mo siya kaagad, no? So, ano ba ang ginagawa, no, ng mind palace? So, ito, you are mentally placing information to be remembered in specific locations within an imagined physical space, no? So, ako, nagamit ko to when I was trying to memorize Erik Erikson's psychosocial theory. So that was part, no, yung theory kasi noon, yung theory yun is very gamit siya sa isang subject namin sa board exam, no. Kaya I really tried to find way na maano ko siya, maalala ko siya, yung every level nun. So, there are 8 levels kasi, or stages. So, ito yung ginamit ko. No? So, I use the Mind Palace. So, yung ginawa ko, I'll just give you an example yung sa ginawa ko. Ang ginawa ko kasi, yung stages, yung psychosocial theory or stages ni Erik Erikson, plinase ko siya doon sa aking elementary school. Like, every stages, in-associate ko siya, or like, in-associate ko siya sa mga location, no, doon sa aking elementary school. Like, for example, the first stage, it is trust versus mistrust. At saka yung crisis niya, let's start with the virtue. Yung virtue niya is hope. At saka yung crisis niya sa stage na yon ay withdrawal. So, paano ko yun nare-remember even now? Because, in-associate ko siya, yung first level, sa grade 1 ko na room. Pumasok ako, kumbaga iniisip ko pumapasok ako doon sa gate, tapos nakita ko yung grade 1 ko na room. Ganon. So, that's first stage. At saka mas nare-remember ko siya, lalo na yung withdrawal na crisis, is because dun sa first, sa grade 1 ko na room, nag-puke kasi ako dun. So, para in-associate ko siya sa withdrawal. Ganon. At saka yung teacher ko dun, grade 1 teacher, pag tumitingin ako sa kanya, parang full siya ng energy, full of life. So, in-associate ko din siya sa hope na virtue ng first stage. So, ganoon ko siya ginagawa. And then, yung second stage naman ng Erik Erikson, doon kasi sa view ng, how can I explain this? Doon kasi sa, grade 1 ko na room, pag titingin ka sa left side, makikita mo yung stage. No? Stage kagad makikita mo. And then, sa stage na yun kasi, yun yung ginawa kong second level ni Erik Erikson, and that is autonomy versus shame and doubt, no? At paano ko siya, bakit siya naging ganon? Bakit doon ko siya in-associate? Kasi sa stage, no, there will be times na masya-shame ka, no, na mag-perform doon, or kaya may doubt ka sa sarili mo. Kaya, so, autonomy versus shame and doubt. Ganon. Tsaka yung ano naman doon, virtue is will. Tsaka iniisip ko, dahil will, Kasi, nag-i-imagine ako na nandun si Kuya Will sa stage. Willie Revillame ba? Nandun siya sa stage, no, nagkakandak ng game show niya. So, very weird, very, very bizarre yung imagination ko. But actually, no, the more bizarre, the more funny it is, the more memorable the place is, mas mareremember mo siya. Okay? So, I hope that makes sense. That's how I utilize the Mind Palace. And you can use it as well, no? Ano bang pinaka-memorable na place sa inyo? Okay. Ano pa? We have, of course, the mnemonic devices. This is very common, no? Most popular siguro, no? Sa atin. So, again, this is designed para mas maalala natin yung mga concepts. So, may mga types, may mga mnemonic devices na example dito. So, napakarami. Ito lang yung in-include ko kasi ito usually yung ginagamit ko. Acronym, no? Ito yung, alam na natin to, yung ginagamit natin yung every first letter ng mga words, no? Para makapag-create ng new word. Diba? For example, this one, Roy G. Biv. Ito yung, ano to? Can you write in the comments or the chat box? Okay, so ito yung colors ng rainbow. Diba? So, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So, yun. Acronym. And then we have acrostics. Ang acrostics naman, different siya sa acronym in a way na phrase yung nakikreate niya. Hindi lang word. Okay. So, it is a phrase na again, yung first letters ay cue ng information na tinitry mong i-memorize. So, this one, example, Dear King Philip came over for good soup. So, this stands for the sequence of the domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Okay? So, ako naman, I would still put it in acrostics. Ito yung ginawa ko kasi para ma-memorize ko yung levels ng ecological theory ni Yuri Bronfenbrenner. Sorry ha, yung mga example ko is sa psych. So, shout out or hello to psych students there. So, I think kayo lang nakaka-relate ng mga example ko. But yun kasi, I'm thinking about what I'm using doon sa board exam ko. So, ito yung ginamit ko. I also used acrostics. But sa akin, hindi lang yung first letter yung ginamit ko. Like, even the first to second letters, no? Basta associated siya or letter siya. So for example, let me explain. So this one, mime, yung exo macroncert. So it's like mime yung exo my concert. So ganun yung idea. At yung mga yung context or yung mga letters dyan, it's actually the levels of ecological theory or ecological system ni Yuri Bronfenbrenner. So MI or me stands for microsystem. The ME, that's mesosystem. Exo, that's exosystem. MA, the MA, that's macrosystem. And then the chron is chronosystem. Okay. So, mas naalala ko na yung sequence ng ecological theory because of acrostics. So, hindi necessarily na first letters lang yung gamitin mo. But, pwede naman yung iba pang letters. No, importante maalala mo siya. And then, like what I've said, the more unique, the more funny, or the more memorable it is, no, mas naalala mo. So, sino ba yung mga, dito, yung mga fans ng EXO? Meron ba? It's a K-pop group. So, mas naalala mo dahil doon. So, make it memorable. Parang ganon. Okay, and then we also have songs and rhymes. Eto. Napaka-common din ito, right? So, nilalagyan lang natin yung, nilalagyan natin ng melodies, no? Or mga rhythm, yung ideas, or mga information para mas ma-remember natin siya kaagad, no? So, actually, itong songs and rhymes, I had instructor ko sa review center, no, na ito talaga yung ginagamit niya. Actually, she was named singing diva ng review center namin. Kasi, yung mga tinuturo niya talaga sa amin ay usually may melodies talaga, no? At very, very helpful talaga siya when it comes to remembering or recalling. Actually, no, let me just share. Very, very memorable kasi sa akin yung mnemonic device din na ito. Kasi, I don't know if you're familiar with MMPI, that's Minnesota Multiphasic Personality Inventory. It's a personality test, a standardized personality test na ginagamit din sa aming profession. And then, napakaraming factors niya. Or like, kumbaga mga ano ba, mga subtopics, ganon. Or mga other factors niya. So, napakarami, but naalala namin siya, nare-recall namin siya dahil sa kanta. Kasi yung ginawa ng instructor namin na yon, yung singing diva ng review center namin, is nilagyan niya ng tono ng high school life. Yung bang high school life, ganon. So, kinakanta namin yun ng mga review mates ko, yung mga classmates ko na nag-take din. So, actually, we're just 8 no, na nag-take ng exam. Kasi nga, clutch yun, yung exam namin eh. Supposedly, next year pa dapat kami mag-take. This year sana. But, kinatch namin. So, yun. So, kinakanta namin yun at very effective na nare-recall talaga namin yung mga factors. At saka, in addition sa song, no, and rhymes, yung isang, review mate, nilagyan niya pa ng action. So, naging, na siya, action song. Which is very effective din, no? So, alam na niya kung sino siya, sino tinutukoy ko. So, magto-talk din siya later. So, siya yung nagbibigay ng, siya yung nag-put ng action sa kantang yun, sa MMPI na mnemonics namin. So, kaya mas naaalala din namin. So, very fun, no? So, yun, hindi naman, necessary na maging boring yung pagre-review nyo. So, gawin yung fun. So, one way of making it fun is this, no? Employing mnemonic devices or the other techniques. Okay. Now, ano pa? This one. We also have repetition or rehearsal with blurting. Okay? So, sinabi natin kanina, napaka-importante ng repetition. And one way to do it is this one, rehearsal with blurting. So, ano ba yung blurting? So, it is a form of active recall, no? It's a technique, no? Where you actively retrieve information from memory. So, it's like blurting, like, di ba sinasabi mo lang kung anong nare-recall mo? No? Kahit mali pa yun, sinasabi mo lang kung ano yung nare-recall mo. But this time, nira-write mo. So, you write all the things that you can remember about the topic. So, wag kang mag-worry kung ano ba, kung may mali ba doon, or ano ba, yung spelling ba, or may na-miss ka. So, ako ginagawa ko, ang ano ko is, nilalagyan ko lang ng question mark, yung hindi ako sure. And then, tapos nagko-continue ako kung ano pa yung nare-remember ko. And then, if hindi ko na talaga, wala na akong ma-remember, wala na akong masulat, after nun, tinitingnan ko yung notes ko. So, nire-review mo yung notes mo to identify what you missed or got wrong. So, ano ba yung mga nakalimutan mo? Ano ba yung mali ng mga concepts na na-remember mo? No? So, it helps you identify if nare-recall mo ba talaga yung mga binabasa mo or nare-review mo. For example, So, kung may mga mali pa doon, so, you read again your um, material, and then after that, you try to write it again. No? So, you use another sheet of paper, then you write it again. Kung ano yung na-remember mo. Hanggang sa matama na yung mga ones na mali mo. No? Or hanggang sa nasama mo na lahat ng mga concepts. Okay. So, ganun siya. Kaso yung our rehearsal with blurting, ano siya time-consuming, tsaka masakit sa kamay. Kasi you really have to write everything. Pero, napaka-helpful siya. Kasi 'di ba may may motion din eh. Another sense, no? Nagwo-work yung another sense organ natin. So, nag-help din 'yun para ma-remember natin ng mas madali. Okay? So, that's how it works. Rehearsal with blurting. And this one, okay, self-questioning or evaluating. So, it involves making or formulating questions about what you reviewed. Okay, so ito ginagawa ko. Tinetest ko sarili ko. So sometimes I make yung mga papers ba, yung mga cut na papers, and then I write questions, and then I roll it. Tapos parang nagro-roleta. Yung kina-question ko yung sarili ko. Or sometimes I use Anki. Do you know Anki? It is an app, no, very helpful rin kasi may mga flashcards siya. Flashcard siya actually. And then yun, natitest mo yung sarili mo kung nare-remember mo ba yung nare-review mo. And then importante din, no, na yung sa mga questions mo, like wag always objective. So wag always like multiple questions and such, no? So mag-include ka ng mga questions na yung makaka-explain ka, yung mga subjective, or yung mga situational. What I mean situational, no? Para mas malaman mo kung naiintindihan mo ba. Okay? So use situational questions as well. That's very important. And then, we have another one, summarizing. So, napakarami ng basahin mo. Napakaraming ideas doon. And sometimes, no, dahil sa napakaraming information, nawawala ka kung ano ba talaga yung nire-review mo. Nawawala ka sa main idea. So, mag-summarize ka. I-summarize mo yung mga main points. So, it helps you capture the essence of the text you are reading. So, it helps you na hindi ka mawala kung ano nga ba yung binabasa mo. So, you can make an outline, no? So, this is the main topic. So, like, small definition, noon. So, and then, what are the subtopics? Ganon. So, that's how you do summarizing. And then, you have this. Goal setting or planning. So, this is very important. No? Before you do, no, or you start your review, dapat nakapag-set ka na ng goal or nakapag-plan ka na ng study schedule mo. No? And how do you do it? You make realistic study goals. So not just goals but realistic. And how do you make sure na maayos yung goal mo? You make it you make it into a SMART goal. You know SMART, right? The framework. Specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. I'm sorry. So, make it SMART. No? So, making a SMART goal or having this or doing this goal setting, it will help you improve focus and lessen your anxiety, confusion, and distraction while doing a specific task. So this will like guide you, no? Kung medyo nawawala ka na sa pace mo. So, this will guide you. Ano nga ba yung goal ko? Okay. Goal ko pala na matapos yung libro na to within this month. So, goal ko na ma-absorb lahat to. Para the next month naman, iba na naman yung babasahin ko. So, parang ganon. Dahil goal ko na pumasa sa DOST exam. Goal nyo ba na pumasa ng DOST exam? Can you write it in the chat box? Yes or no? Goal nyo ba? Of course, dapat goal nyo. No? Dapat i-aim nyo yan. Dapat ngayon pa lang, i-affirm nyo yan. So, sabihin nyo, every day, no, you wake up, you tell yourself, papasa ako. Papasa ako sa DOST scholarship exam. Kaya ko to. So, you tell yourself that. And of course, you work on that. Pagtrabahuan mo. So, wag lang self-affirmation. So, magbigay ka rin ng effort. Okay? So, now, I will give you an example of my study plan or study schedule. So, this is how I've done it, no? Ito yung ginawa ko nung board exam. So, as you can see, I have here my study plan. So, ito, I just want to share what I did. So, you can have your own study plan. So, we have napaka-high-tech na. May AI na tayo, diba? ChatGPT, you can use that. No, you can ask templates or like study plans, and then you can build on that and customize it on your own. Pero sa akin, ito yung ginawa ko. Okay, so as what you can see here, like Saturday and Sunday, I go to my review center. Kasi, weekends kasi, yung review namin. And then on Monday, nire-recap ko kung ano yung diniscuss namin sa review center. So, repetition. Okay, so it's either I will do the blurting method, like nira-write ko kung ano yung remember ko, ganoon, or I will do the Feynman technique, yung sinasabi ko sa sarili ko or sa boardmate ko who happens also to be my review mate. Ganon. So, verbalize ko. So, I review it. Nire-recap ko. And then, on Tuesdays, what can you see? Rest day. So, binibigyan ko talaga ng importance yung rest day. Sometimes, my review mates will tell me na grabe daw ka, naning, or I don't know why they say those, but may rest day naman ako, no? May rest day ako actually. And during those days, yun, yung sinishare ko anong ginagawa ko. And then, but usually kumakain ako eh. Sa mga days na yun, kasi binabawi ko yung energy ko. So, but sometimes then, no, hindi ko nasusunod yung rest day ko. Honestly. Kasi, lalo na yung palapit na yung board exam. Kasi, na-anxious ako, parang nagigilty ako, bakit ako nagre-rest, no? Napakalapit na ng exam. Tapos, hindi pa ako natatapos sa mga readings ko. So, sometimes ni-utilize ko. Yeah, honestly, may mga times talaga na ganun. But, binabawi ko din naman siya. At saka, I-make sure na hindi ako nababurn out. So, that's also important. You're aware of yourself. No, alam nyo kung kaya pa ba talaga i-push o hindi na. And then, on Wednesday and Thursdays, I read further. So, you can see here, sa baba, ang goal ko, bakit mag-read further, is to clarify confusions, cover topics in POS, no, na hindi na-cover ng review center ko, or like reinforced learnings. So, sinulat ko talaga dyan. Ano bang goal ng pag-read ko further? So, specific. Okay. So, ganon. And then, on Fridays, nag-answer ako ng drills. So, I evaluate myself. I question myself. So, yun. So, that's my study plan. Balik na naman, Saturday and Sunday, review again. So, yun yung ginagawa ko. So, sa inyo, you can customize your own depending on your availability as well. Diba? Pero I think you can relate somehow because weekends lang kayo nagkakaroon ng big time to review because you're also you're still studying, right? Oh. So, that's it. That's how I did my study plan. And then, you can see here, yun, dinivide ko yung available days ko na lang to read. So, I had 24 days. Which means, for each subject, I have 6 days to read further. So, ito yung mga schedule ko. So, yun yung mga targets ko. Okay, so that's how I did my study plan. Para talaga ma-maximize or ma-utilize ko yung days left, no? For me to review. So, possible talaga na hindi mo to masusunod talaga, no? Like, diligently. And it's okay. It's okay. But, kung nasunod mo, very good din, no? Because na-hit mo talaga yung target mo. But sometimes kasi may mga instances na may mga emergencies or other things na you need to attend to, kaya hindi ka nakapag-review, but okay lang yun. Basta, find ways din na makakabawi ka. And then, again, paulit-ulit kong sinasabi, be self-aware. Kung feeling nyo, need nyo pa talaga ng more basa, double time, magbasa po kayo. At wag maging, yung, of course, you pray. Pray. But also do the work. Okay? So, ano pa? Okay, so this will be my last slide. Final tips for you, the future UST scholars. So, I just have 2 things to remind you all or to give you yung tip, no? So first, be kind to yourself. Ako, I did not pass my first try sa UST scholarship exam. Yes, nung first year ko, hindi po ako pumasa. Kaya po, DUST JLSS scholar ako kasi nung third year na po ako pumasa. During those times, nalaman ko na hindi ako pumasa. Very down ako, of course. And I cried and I cried kasi I felt like I disappointed my father. At saka very helpful na kasi sana nung scholarship, no? Kasi hindi naman kami mayaman, guys. So I really need the financial assistance. So very nanghinayang ako. But yun, okay lang na umiyak, no? Let it all out. But, nung dumating yung application for the DOST JLSS, so I was third year, nagbigay na talaga ako ng effort. Kasi, nung first ko kasing try, hindi naman din talaga ako nag-review ng very, very todo. No, parang naging ako, na kaya ko yan, parang ganon ba? Eh, hindi kinaya. Kaya nung third year ako, nag-put effort talaga ako. So, nag-ano ako, nag-search ako sa YouTube. May mga tutorial kasi doon eh. Mga DOST questions or like sample questions. So, may mga rationalization doon. So, yun. Wina-watch ko yun. Nag-a-answer ako. And then, finocus ko, in-identify ko yung mga feeling ko mababa talaga ako doon. For example, yung sa machines, yung ano ba, yung mga gears, hindi talaga ako magaling doon. And then, yung sa mga, ano pa ba, chemistry, mahina din ako doon. So, pinag-aralan ko yun. Yung mga abstract din, my God, nalilito din ako sa mga sequence, mga geometric patterns. So, kaya inaral ko talaga yun. So, importante din yung resilience nyo. No? Whatever happens, my advice is do everything, no? What you can do. No? Mag-review kayo, review and review and review. No? Para wala kayong regrets. And then, if ever man, wag naman sana, no? Na you won't get the chance to be a scholar, no? Wag panghinaan ng loob. Be resilient. Kasi may other chances pa. At baka may ibang plan si Lord sa'yo. So, be kind to yourself. Hindi dahil hindi ka pumasa, big sabihin, katapusan na. Or ang bobo mo na. Baka hindi pa talaga time. No? So, just do the work. No? Ibibigay yan sa'yo. Kung para talaga sa'yo. Okay? And then, last, be kind to others. You will be a, a scholar. You'll be an scholar ng bayan in the future. So you will be studying not just for yourself, not just for your family, your financial, or the financial assistance. You're also studying for the betterment of your community. So be kind to others. Don't forget that we all have responsibilities sa ating society. Unfortunately, yes, ganun po talaga. No? Because napaka-cruel na ng world, and then it needs someone na, magbigay ng positive contribution to make the world a better place. Yeah, it's very idealistic, but yun talaga yung kailangan ng ating community. So, be kind to others. And then, try to help others as much as you can. Yung makilala nyo na nag-review din for the DOST exam, tulungan nyo. Magtulungan kayo. No? So, that's it. Be kind to yourself and be kind to others. So, that's pretty much it. My presentation for my presentation for this afternoon. So, I am hoping that you've learned a lot from this session, and I am praying, na you get that scholarship that you're aiming for. And also, I'm praying, that um you stay mentally healthy, physically healthy. So, wag pabayaan ang sarili. Okay? So, thank you and God bless future scholars. And again, thank you to the NMADs. Once again, I am Ludian C. M. Fimo, and if you have questions, or anything or concerns, you can email me. So, natabunan siya, but it's lacmfimo@gmail.com. So, you can contact me po. And again, unfortunately, mas maganda sana kung live to, no? But I really enjoyed uh, recording this session, and I hope you also enjoyed listening, no? And you have learned a lot. So, once again, thank you so much, and God bless.